Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Kim aka Lego Artisan. So a few weeks ago, I did a video on the improvements that I made on the 2022 modular building, the Boutique Hotel. And I thought I'd do a second video, but this time it would be for the first modular that I have ever built, which was released back in 2020, and that is the modular Birch Bookshop. This set has been around for at least 2 years now, and I'm sure everyone has made several modifications on it, making it bigger, turning it into a corner building. I did something similar wherein I turned it into an antique shop and an art gallery. So this set, although it's not as grand as the other modular buildings, is something that has potential, especially in terms of the pieces that you can utilize for each building. And if you really go through and try to improve upon it, you'll see that it's actually really good and worth the investment if you should try to improve and modify it further. So without further ado, let's take a look at the improvements that I've made on the Birch Bookshop. For the facade, I didn't do much changes other than adding a few leaves on the birch tree, because for me, it's already a solid structure and a solid facade for two separate buildings. It has really fine details, but not so much that it overpowers the whole structure, and it still looks very similar and very in line with the rest of the modular buildings. So from the Lego side of things, I always consider them that they would always put a lot of details, but not so much so that it's overpowering or it's an information overload for you. So it just has enough details for you to be able to enjoy them, but not so much so that you don't want to look at it for a long period of time. Now we have the back portion of the Birch Bookshop and the townhouse, and now here you can definitely see that there has been some changes. For the bookshop, you can see now there is here the window on the roof, and then I've extended it where you now have posts here, meaning that if you take it on the side, the roof is now up to the edge of the building rather than just here. So I've expanded it by 4 studs. And then on this side is the same. There used to be a balcony here, but now it has a structure where you have a similar window type here and here, and you'll be able to see what's inside when we do the interiors. And then for this portion here, I did a rock pathway for the townhouse, as well as in this area here for the bookshop. So intentionally, I was planning on moving this and turning it 90 degrees so you can place it here and have access from here up to the other side without any interruption. In some cases where I have to split the modular building, I have now to keep this portion here just on the side of the townhouse so that I could easily remove and rotate them around and then place them separately in our Lego town. That's why this one is now in its current position. On this side, you can see that there is a hen, and if you open this portion here, there will be an egg inside. So it's a little feature that I've added a very long time ago, and I'm still happy that I added it. For this portion here, you have a small seating area with a table where you have a croissant and some cookies so that the owner of the bookshop can enjoy. I've added a light here so that they can have their barbecue or their tea and break at the back of the bookshop, even at the evening time or nighttime. The interiors, I didn't do much on the bookshop for the ground floor, since for me, I already think that it has enough details to go, and this for me was just right. My initial intention was for me to improve upon it without breaking the bank and utilizing the parts that I had in my collection at that time. So I just changed the green piece here into a printed tile, and I added some books in front. Like here, there's the Moby Dick one, and then there's another one here. So I just put on some multiple copies of that book, as well as a telephone here. And then I changed some of the 1x1 tiles into plates like this one, so that I could place the minifigures without having any issues of them moving or falling down when I lift or change the position of the bookshop. So it still remains as is, but the second and the third level has changed quite a bit. So we'll look at those details. Here we have the second level of the bookshop, and as you can see further that we have tiled the floors with the same color scheme as the ground floor, so that it will be uniform in color, and it will have a great transition from the ground floor to the second floor. So when I looked at the first layout of this one, where you had that couch or that reading nook, for me it was nice, but then it sort of lacked a lot of details, especially given that the stairs was occupying about 1/4 of the layout. So you already had a small footprint for the interior, and then it was then cut off further by these stairs. And what my, I wouldn't say complaint about the building, it's more of a criticism on the design, is that the building focused too much on the stairs. Although it looks nice, it ended up being that you didn't have enough room for any other details. So I kept it here, but then I maximized the space by putting a lot of details right beside the walls or near the walls, so you can still have your minifigures in the middle portion, but you have a lot of things to look at. On this side here, you have a binocular, and then glass full of different artifacts like gold rings, and on this side you have the golden swords, or I'm not sure if they're name, but then you also have a map, and then you have the build for the lamp, and then you have here a player, an old one, and then you have a table with a gem and a crystal. You have the grandfather clock. So this one ended up being a collector or an archaeologist's hidden room or artifact room. You have here a medieval sword with a ring there. Maybe this one is related to Lord of the Rings. And then on this side you have some statues and some more books. So even though that space would not have been accessible in the original design of the bookshop, I placed some more details on it so that it would look busy, but then it still have enough space for your minifigures. So it's just about maximizing the space and making sure you put a lot of really nice details. And then here, the portion here used to be just an open area, but I extended it with these supports so that we can further extend the roof portion or the attic, which I will show you shortly. And now we have here the roof. So that extension of 4 studs here, which is 4 by 16 in terms of width, gives you actually a lot of space to work with. wherein now the front of the building is a table with micro scale Lego town with some houses or modulars. There are books down at the cabinet there, and then you have some drawers here, and then you have a letter and a pen over there, and then you're able to keep the couch from the second floor. And so what I did was I moved it up here so they could have still their bedroom and their reading nook all together and have enough space for that, given that we've expanded this. We still get to have the cage, if you would say it, for the chameleon. And then here you have some tiles that sort of like act as books as well. So it's much larger now. And what I used here are dark red tiles to match the roof attic, so it will still be in line with the theme and the color. And that's it now for our bookshop. Oh, I forgot to show you again. So to have a bit more light inside, I used this technique almost similar to the one in front. So you have a back-to-back window, and it won't be a boring roof where you just have slopes all the way through, just like here on the side. So this one has more details on it, even at the back. Okay, now let's move to the townhouse. So for the townhouse, you have a crawl space underneath the first level of the building, which is essentially the basement of the building. But I didn't see it as having enough height for a minifigure to be able to walk about, so I didn't place too much details on it. Other people have raised it by 1 or 2 bricks high so that they could utilize it as a proper space, but I opted not to do that. If you have a mill system for your buildings, then I think this one would work better because you'll have that extra brick high, and you just need to add 1 or 2 more here so that you'll be able to fully maximize the space for this area. But for me, I was just happy placing some more details. You have here the pressure or the water, and then a small washing machine with some soap. And then on this side you have a table for your modular buildings. So at that time I really wanted to incorporate placing the micro figure modular buildings in each home, so I placed it on the basement, as some of you actually do in real life, which is use your basement for your Lego room. And now we're going to move on to the first level of the building. And now here we can see that it's all tiled off with a color scheme that is very complementary to the walls and the other parts of the building. You have tan, white, and the turquoise color for the tiles. The great part about this one is that I didn't spend too much on it to make it really look nice, because again, the structure itself is already good. It's just a matter of putting some more details. Like my main issue with this building is that it didn't have a kitchen. You had a table and a chair and the fireplace, but nowhere to cook food stuff and then clean up after. So I placed here, where it used to be a cabinet, a small kitchen. You have a sink, you have a stove, you have some shelf space on top, and you even have a holder for your spatula or your cooking utensil. And it's simple enough and small, but it does have a good effect wherein you're able to see a complete house. So if you are also interested in doing that, then I would suggest taking out the cabinet on this side and changing it into a small kitchen. Or you can place the kitchen in the basement. Um, Here you have another small cabinet just beneath these hanger. And then the flower, I think, was originally there anyway, so just keep it as is. Anyway, I think the main improvement on this one is just tiling off the floor and adding the kitchen. And that's it for the first level. And we have the second level, which has a small floor space, and I've also changed it into a tiled floor and a stud on this side so you can place a minifigure if you wanted to. And then I added the Eiffel Tower here and two modulars at the back. So the whole feature is great enough as it is. It's just few minor adjustments and modifications to further improve the details. But the main feature for this one is the one at the back. So I'll remove this portion here, and you will be able to see the next portion that we'll add on this side. So as you open the door here, you used to have a balcony, but now you have a toilet. Some of you AFOLs don't really care much about placing toilets or bathrooms in your Lego town, but there are some of you like me who are really interested in placing at least one in each building, especially if the building has a living space. It's just one of those pet peeves that I have. It's one of the ways that I could improve a certain building. Whenever they don't have a toilet or a bathroom, I try to clear some space so that I can include a bathroom. It's just, you know, something that would be nice to have in a building or a house. And also for this portion here, the other part of the roof is removable. Although this one doesn't look clean because they're olive green bricks, I do intend to change them into turquoise modified bricks once I have enough of them. So here, once you have your toilet, you will have a sink with a mirror, and then you have the toilet bowl, and then a shower. As you can see, there's also that color scheme of the tiles, which is similar to the ground floor and the bedroom. So it's very uniform for the rest of the building. And even though you have still a small space, we now have the details that we're looking for in having a proper bathroom for the townhouse. So I essentially completed the missing pieces or parts of a house on this modular building. Although, of course, we would want to be able to add maybe some more details, but then we're doing it on a budget rather than buying another one of these, turning it into a full modular, or raising it up and adding another level like this one here. This one is more of an improvement where you could do it with the spare parts that you have, or buy a few things but not have to go and just buy a full lot of bricks for the improvement, and it would still look and feel like the original design, only a bit more personalized based on your preferences on the designs and the different things like adding this bathroom. And by the way, the bathroom for this one has free instructions on sites like belverbricks.com and rebrickable.com. So if you're interested in checking out the parts list as well as the instructions for building this portion here, they are available on those sites and you can check them out. I'll put the link on the description below. So that's it, guys, for this video of the improvement on our modular building, Birch Bookshop. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching the video. If you have comments or suggestions on how to improve this modular building, as well as requests for the improvements that I've made for other modular buildings that I have, which is now the Parisian restaurant, the Assembly Square, and the police station. I think also the corner garage. Most of the improvements that I've made on the official sets are sort of like on budget improvements without buying a second set or without buying loads and loads of bricks to ramp it up and add another floor or another set of building. It's just mainly just using some spare parts that I had back then and using tiles to make it look nicer than usual. Anyway, I'm rambling on. If you have those requests for the other modular buildings, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please click the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'd be notified when I release new videos like these ones. Of course, I'll be doing some more MOCs for other buildings. Be on the lookout for another one, which might be in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Hopefully, things have been busy outside of Lego. And also, I've been doing some more commission works for different customers or clients. So that's a lot of fun to do, but it keeps me busy and I don't have as much time as I have with doing videos. But I will still try to make a lot more in the future. Anyway, guys, again, thank you very much. And this is it for now. Have a good day. Enjoy Lego and just stay safe. Bye.